There is a good chance that some of you have heard that chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine can be used to treat COVID-19. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you 3 ways by which chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine can be used to treat COVID-19. But you have to know everything in this video is for education and information purpose only. And for chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine, they must be prescribed by a physician, and you don't have to self-medicate or to take them on your own. So as always, I'm Sally Sedris. Follow me to the end of this video. I'm going to show you how chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine are effective in the fight against COVID-19. So let's go and get started. So chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine are quite similar compounds. They are both derivative of 4-aminochloroquine. But difference between chloroquine and hydroxychloroquine is just the side chain. But hydroxychloroquine is much more preferable because of its electricity. So whether I say chloroquine or I say hydroxychloroquine, I mean the same compound. So chloroquine is not affecting the COVID-19 virus directly. It probably have an indirect effect on the virus. But the exact mechanism by which chloroquine acts on COVID-19, that is, act on the SARS-CoV-2 virus that is causing the COVID-19 infection, is still not well understood. But if we can learn from its antimalarial activity, if you can remember, chloroquine is basic. It is highly concentrated in acidic medium. And what does it do is that it increases the pH. And by increasing the pH, it changes solution from acidic to basic. That's for antimalarial. And when it changes solution from acidic to basic, it blocks the polymerization of heme to hemozoid. And that will lead to the accumulation of heme into the stomach of the virus, which heme will become toxic to the parasite and ultimately lead to the death of the parasite. So that is how chloroquine works for antimalarial. It increases the pH. So also for COVID-19, for the SARS-CoV-2 virus that is causing the COVID-19 infection, the likely mechanism of action of chloroquine is also by increasing the pH. So let's go to the pathogenesis and see the potential mechanism of action of chloroquine on the SARS-CoV-2 virus that is causing the COVID-19 infection. So if you can remember, from the pathogenesis, I also put the video link of the pathogenesis in the description of this video. You have to check it off to have more elaborate understanding on the step-by-step how the virus cause the COVID-19 infection. So if you remember, when the virus first attacked the type 2 cell, what does it do? It binds the ACE2 receptor. And when it binds the ACE2 receptor, it will be engulfed and taken into the cell. And within the cell, what will happen? It will release this positive cell single-stranded RNA molecule. And when it releases it, this guy here, that is RNA-dependent RNA polymerase, will then make copies of that RNA to produce many of it. And the next thing is that some of that RNA will be translated by the cell ribosome to form polyproteins. So these are the polyproteins. And those polyproteins will be broken down by some specific enzyme called proteases. And those proteases will break down these polyproteins to form the virus component. With the virus will then assemble this component with RNA formed by RNA-dependent RNA polymerase and therefore form a new virus, and therefore the virus can go out of the cell. So one way by which chloroquine works is that diffusion of the virus, look at it here, diffusion of the virus with the cell membrane after binding the ACE2 receptor, for it to be taken into the cell requires this cell to be optimally acidic. So when chloroquine is here, this CQ, this is my shorthand of chloroquine. I use CQ for shorthand of chloroquine. It will increase this pH. It will increase pH. And by increasing this pH, there will not be proper fusion of the virus with the cell membrane, and this will block the virus from getting into the cell. So one way by which chloroquine works is that it blocks the virus from getting into the cell by increasing the pH of the cell. So that is that for that one. So the second way by which chloroquine works is that, if you can remember how viruses replicate, is that they form their component. And by forming those components, they assemble them. So look at what I mean. So these are the components of the virus. The RNA of the virus and all the proteins of the virus. And the virus will then assemble them. So this assembling of this virus component, this assembling of this virus component is done by an organelle called endoplasmic reticulum, shortened as ER. So the enzymes in this organelle, for them to do this activity of assembling, requires the inside of the organelle to be optimally acidic. So when chloroquine is here, CQ will increase the pH of the inside of this organelle and thereby block this assembling of this component. And when it blocks this assembling of the component, there will not be further formation of the virus. And that's for that one. Another thing is that even after the virus is being assembled in this endoplasmic reticulum, it has to enter another organelle called Golgi apparatus. And what does Golgi apparatus do to the SARS-CoV-2 virus that's causing the COVID-19 infection is that it helps the virus to go out of the cell. And remember, it is when the virus go out of the cell that it can go and infect other type 2 cells, and also it can go and infect other people. So when chloroquine is here, chloroquine will block the exit of the virus out of the cell. So the second way by which chloroquine works is that it impair the organelle function. All the organelles that have the virus in carrying out its replication, it impairs their function by increasing their pH. So that is the second way. The third way by which chloroquine works is it serves as an ion channel for zinc to be taken into the cell. If you remember, when trying to explain the mechanism of action of zinc as in COVID-19, I tell you zinc is charged. And thereby zinc cannot just go into the cell. And how can zinc get into the cell? It's by the help of ionophore. So one of those ionophore is chloroquine. So chloroquine will serve as a channel to which zinc will follow and get into the cell. And when zinc get into the cell, what does it do? Is that it blocks RNA-dependent RNA polymerase. And we know the function of RNA-dependent RNA polymerase is that it provides more RNA, and by providing more RNA, it helps the virus to make more copies of itself, or to make new baby viruses. So that is that for chloroquine. We see 3 ways by which chloroquine works. 1, it blocks the virus from getting into the cell. And 2 is by serving as an ion channel for zinc to be transported and taken into the cell, and thereby zinc will block RNA-dependent RNA polymerase. And the third way is that the organelles that help the virus in performing its replication inside the cell, it helps in increasing their pH and thereby making the inside of those organelles to become basic, and which will become unfavorable for the virus to undertake its replication. So that's that for chloroquine. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you found it helpful. Don't forget to hit the link in the description below to the pathogenesis to have more elaborate understanding on how the virus performs its replication, and also clear understanding of the mechanism of the drugs I have discussed now and the ones we are going to discuss in our subsequent videos. If you think others will benefit from this video, please share it with them, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit the notification button for you not to miss anything I upload in this video. See you next time with a brand new video. Salus Idris, love you all, stay safe. Please drop a like, leave a comment, share the video, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye bye.